This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with the Crapper King. Since 2019, they are the leader in the industry at buying and selling portable toilets and related equipment. For restroom providers, they become your partner in business. I'm joined with Curtis, who is the owner, founder. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, you're an investor, CEO, franchise founder. You're formally educated at the University of Phoenix with an MBA. Really, you're a true serial entrepreneur.
I am.
Share with me a little bit how you got involved in this type of industry and why.
Absolutely. So it was actually kind of serendipitous in that I had a 40-acre property and was going to build my first building on the property, and they said the first thing you need is a portable toilet in order to have before the crew shows up. And they said, so here's a list of people you can rent one from. And I said, well, I might just need one. It's a barn where we started off building. So I said, let's go ahead and I'll go buy one. And they went, you can't buy one. And I went and bought one. And then my neighbor knocked on my door and goes, hey, where'd you get that? And so I sold one to him and sold one to another neighbor. And then I got into the portable toilet business. So not my traditional background, but I've been doing it for several years. And I'm the only one that does the buying and selling of portable equipment in the used market.
Makes you very unique. As an entrepreneur myself, I always say look for a business that is a necessity and not a luxury. I mean, I'd say anyone out there in the field would agree that when you gotta go, you gotta go. So it's definitely a need. What type of companies rely on your services and products?
Well, I actually serve a couple of different markets. So if you think about your typical construction company, your landscapers, all of the people that have workers that are working outside and need a place to use a restroom, that's your logical ones. I also work with the portable toilet industry, helping those folks as well. So we're trying to expand the number of people in that industry, and I help to equip them and get them ready for the business.
Excellent. I imagine it's quite a savings for the companies buying used portable toilets, yet your customers, they kind of benefit both ways. They buy when they basically when they buy from you, and also when you come pick up their product. Explain this business model a little bit more in depth for me.
Yeah, so we started off in the used business at buying and selling, and really found that most of the operators needed used toilets because they would need additional toilets, and there was a constraint on them over the last couple of years with the pandemic. So the new toilet companies were not producing enough toilets to meet the demand. So the used market became really hot. And then about a year ago, they started to catch up with some of that, and so we moved into the new market as well, and now we're also servicing those units. So we realized the entire spectrum from used to new to actually servicing the units, because again, that the need is there and the industry is absolutely overwhelmed right now.
A lot of growth in a short period of time.
Yep.
I mean, for companies out there, you're able to buy, eliminate their unneeded product, if you will, end-of-life equipment. Normally this stuff just takes up space, I imagine, in their storage yards. Instead, they're now able to create a little bit of extra funds, I would imagine.
Absolutely. So the great news is one guy's trash is another person's treasure, as they say. And so when one company is getting new equipment in, we buy the old equipment. And the great news is then we're able to get those in smaller quantities. We'll buy hundreds, a couple of hundred at a time, and then we'll sell those in much smaller quantities, 20 to 40, to the people that need them. And it's a great way for them to maximize the profit of their business because they're buying it at a lower cost. But also it's one of those things where you look at it and go, do I need new toilets for this particular customer segment? And the answer, if they're going to the construction, probably not. So cost effective.
Very cost effective. I mean, we're talking about pump equipment, transport trailers, trucks, tanks, toilets. I mean, are you able to sell and buy all of these? And is it just locally, or are you able to pretty much service the nation?
Actually, I service all of the United States. That's one of the things that has made me unique, because I'm the only one doing that in the United States. So that ability to take a customer need. They'll call me up and say, hey, I'm looking for a truck with this size tank with this about this year. I have the network out there, so I can find it and get it to them. I'm also able to help them with new equipment as well, and I can wrap it all in a financing package so they can take their used equipment, the new equipment, and finance it all into an easy monthly payment. So some of the folks I've worked with are newly getting into the business, and it's usually hard to get started with all brand new equipment. So we help them out with that for the smaller guys. And then we also help the ones that want to get into the industry, but they want to go all new. We help them as well. We have a new franchise for that. So the great thing is whatever the need or the desire is, we have a way to help.
Quite an untapped market you
is.
tapped into there. I mean, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
It is.
We've all been in a portable toilet before. Many times it's not a great experience because, quite honestly, one of the reasons is odor. PortaClear. Tell me what that is and why that kind of makes a difference.
Absolutely. It's kind of a game-changing ingredient to our solution. So what we've done is we've worked with a company that used to be in the municipal waste industry. They created products to help your local water sanitation district be able to control their odors and things. And they adapted that product to work in the portable toilets. So what it does, it's an all-natural. It's not no harmful chemicals, no formaldehydes, none of the nasty things you think of, but what it does, it completely eliminates the odor. And let's face it, the one thing we all do not want when you walk into those portable restrooms, especially in the heat of the summer, right? The last thing you want to do is get a big whiff of that. Our solution completely eliminates it, and we only send that out in a concentrated format. So we're not shipping around, big tanks full of water, which is what most of that stuff is. We actually ship it and concentrate in very small containers because that way it's more cost effective, but also it's better for the environment as well.
That is excellent. I mean, let's face it, flush toilets didn't even exist until the 1500s. We first see portable toilets World War II with guys that are working on ships. Not until the 1960s they even have a patent or anything like a porta potty, if you will. This concept has been around for decades. We've gone maybe from wood, metal to fiberglass. I mean, is that still the material that is being used today?
No, actually, one of the things that happened about 50 years ago is they did switch over from those other materials to plastic. So today, if you look at most portable toilets, they are exactly the same as they were 50 years ago. The same rectangle box with the big white roof. If you think about it, they just changed the color and a little bit on the shape. But what we've done is we've completely redesigned the portable toilet with what we call the P-Pod. It's a complete reimagination of what would the toilet look like if it was invented today. So the neat thing about ours is it looks very different, but what's even better is the function. So it folds in half. You pull two pins, the whole thing folds in half, and you can stack them 3 high. And we also have made some major improvements in the material itself. We're now the only company in America that is manufacturing toilets out of recycled plastic, 100% recycled plastic. And we're adding a thing called Microban 24, which makes the entire unit antimicrobial. Let's face it, if you go into a bathroom, the last thing you want is to pick up all of the germs and everything from the last person. So everything you touch is automatically, all the germs are killed before the next person touches it. And then our biggest differentiator is the fact we have a removable tank. So we pull a pin and we can remove that tank. So we have 3 different tank types. We've got a drop tank, which is the traditional tank, which is just an open cavity. Then we have a recirculating tank and we have a flushing tank. All 3 of those can be slipped in there. So the shell is the same, but we just slip that in. None of the other manufacturers have removable tanks. So if you buy a flushing unit, it's always a flushing unit. For us, it's whatever the customer needs. So we're really trying to bring out an innovative product. We also include a solar light with every unit. Kind of makes sense. Sometimes it's dark when you need to use it. Things like that. So we're really trying to change the industry and change the mindset around portable toilets. And so our goal is we want people asking for P-Pods, not portable toilets in the future. We really believe it's a complete game changer.
It definitely is. Very adaptable design you're talking about. Very adaptable for who the customer may be. Definitely not our dad's porta potty. This is new technology. We've all been to concerts, outdoor events. We've seen rows of portable toilets. They all, like you say, they look the same. They seem to work the same. We have not even improved the design until today. I mean, we're talking about next gen. How has the industry welcomed you? I mean, they're pretty excited about this.
It's really funny because actually one of the companies that I worked with in the used side of things, buying parts and pieces for their units, actually canceled my account with them because they consider, even though they're a multi-billion-dollar company, they considered our products to be the #1 threat to their business because of the complete rethinking of the way of doing business. So one of the things that we've done is not only do we now make the product in the United States, so we brought a manufacturing business to the U.S., we have patents on it, but also the innovation of the first recycled plastic. These are almost 200 pounds a piece worth of plastic. It's just a shame to think that all of that plastic is all virgin plastic, and then they dispose of it by throwing it in the landfill. We have a complete cycle. You start with recycled material, and we also take it back and recycle it again.
You built a better crap trap.
That's exactly what we
quite
like
honestly,
to think.
You really have. I mean, as your company says, you did not think outside the box, you just made the box smaller.
Yep.
This has to be a game changer when it comes to transporting these units.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things that makes ours different, because of the folding and stacking design, we can fit 78 units in a semi-trailer. The normal toilet, you can only fit 28. So you know, with the high cost of transportation these days, the price of fuel, all of those things are humongous factors in getting things to where they need to be. We can deploy these in areas of disaster or major concert events, activities. We can bring hundreds of units in just a few trucks, where it takes 3 times as many transport vehicles to bring the same number of the traditional units. So really, again, it's greener, it's more efficient, and it's more effective, and then we are able to get the resources where they're needed. So we're really focused on being smart about what we do, not just doing the same thing that we've always done.
Wow, and for small-time operators, I mean, this is a collapsible version of the traditional, if you will. I mean, 36 inches high, they stack. You can throw these in a typical pickup truck. Maybe with my seats removed, I'd probably throw one in my minivan.
It's funny, actually I have. I've placed them in the back of a minivan for a customer. So it is one of those things that we can fit them in elevators to go up high-rise buildings. If you think about the skyscrapers, when they're building those high-rises, we can actually put our units in the elevator. We don't have to lift them with the expensive crane and all that time. We can go in and out. We also can pull the tanks out and service them through that elevator. Normally it would take an enormous amount of resources. Well, people rigging the stuff, bringing it down, cleaning the unit, and then rigging it and putting it all back up. Instead, we've transformed the way they do that, and we're actually also doing it in mines underground. Think about the mine shafts that go down to these mines. They take it down in the elevator down there, and then they only have to bring the tank back out for cleaning.
It's small.
It's because it's small. Fits on a simple 2-wheeled cart, and up it comes. So it's really changing the way they do things. In fact, the mines, they used to just chop the unit in half in order to fit it down there. Well, ours, you can fold it, but when you get it down there, you can open it up and still have some privacy. Because again, the last thing anyone wants to do is see you looking out as you're using the restroom, right?
Excellent. I mean, for big-time operators, large companies out there that maybe even keep a lot of them on site, storage cost is expensive. This is a way you can stack these things up and probably store them away until the next use.
And that's really one of the big things, is we know that that yard space costs you money to lease. You should be focused on having your trucks and your other equipment that's larger out there. And the nice thing is, ours you can put inside, you can rack mount it, you can put 3 high, put a rack in, and go 3 more high. So we can fit more in a square footage than any other provider in the country. And one of the biggest things for us is simplicity. We want it to be, we don't want you to have to disassemble the whole thing. It's literally pull 2 pins, set it down, and when you're ready to set it back up, you put the pins in and you're done. There's no pre-assembly or anything else. They come ready to use.
Speaking of simplicity, I mean, even for a small event like a wedding, outdoor party, I mean, normally you couldn't bring something big like that in, but for something like that, you can maybe bring 1 or 2 in pretty easily.
Absolutely. We can fit through gates, we can fit into backyards, in places that you normally wouldn't see a portable toilet being able to go. And it's funny, one of my customers, Suzanne's Portables in the Northeast, made a comment that she took one to a graduation party, and the guys all were standing around the toilet the whole time talking about how innovative and amazing it was, and they were just couldn't believe how it was so different. And so she found that especially amusing, because she rents them out for events and things. But it was one of those where the customer was just said, we couldn't get the guys away from the toilet. It was so interesting. Not
only functional, but it's a conversation piece for any party, really.
It does look so different. It's almost artistic. If you think of the Opera Center in Sydney, Australia, those curves has those same curves on the back, and it really looks like something different. But it functions differently, and it actually has 30% more room, even though it shrinks down as small as it does. So very progressive product.
That is excellent. Your company is very unique. I mean, from the get-go when you started, you were providing somebody that nobody really did before. Now you've got the next gen, and we're talking about really a game changer in this entire industry. You have always been a hands-on kind of entrepreneur. Basically, does this continue to be rewarding for you, and are you excited about the future?
I am so excited. One of the biggest things is with buying the Peapod company, now bringing production to the United States, and really implementing all of these revolutionary changes, I've even gotten more excited. So one of the things that we've done is we've created a franchise that's going to allow us to have nationwide footprint all across the United States, and the Peapods will be exclusive to that franchise. And so we're opening our very our location right here in Denver. We've got a Next Gen Peapod of Denver is the name of it, and we're going to be rolling out across the entire country. We're signing up new franchise partners now, and we're the only franchise in the portable toilet industry. So we're really breaking new ground, and we're trying to bring new people into the industry because so many are getting swallowed up by the large companies. Yeah. And one of the things that we want to say is the portable industry is exactly what you want it to be. It's not what it was, it's what you imagine it to be, and it's a much more efficient one, very inclusive, men, women. It really doesn't matter who you are because we've set it up, because of the portability and other things like that. Anyone can run that business.
Definitely an untapped market for not only you, but others who want to get involved as well now. That's pretty exciting. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is the website. Obviously on the website you can check out the Crapper King, and you're going to find they've got many products out there. You can shop right there online, but honestly, if you don't find something, contact them, give them a call, they'll put you in the right direction. You can check out the services they provide. Also, we're providing a link right there for the Next Gen, which is really changing the way that the mindset when you're thinking about portable toilets out there, be it a small event, be it a graduation party, all the way up to multi-units at a concert or large event. Basically, they're the king in the industry at buying and selling portable toilets and related equipment. Not only serving the industry, but improving that ancient design. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.